And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Indianapolis Colts and the Minnesota Vikings, and it's all up next.
Now we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Here's the rookie from Alabama, Will Reichard, ready to get us started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they are led out there by their mobile quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100 plus the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again. Then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set him up.
Richardson. He's got a man complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 33 yards that time. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. Does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't. But it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Off the option, here's Taylor. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Anytime a team goes on the road, there's always that little bit of fear that maybe they can be affected by the hometown crowd. But this is where game planning really came into play. They talked about it all week. Go in there, establish yourselves. Well, that run right there, that slows down the crowd and gives them a lot of confidence.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down. Now it's Richardson. That one finds Pierce right side. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Here now, 3rd and a yard. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs. It gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
And he's got it. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Richardson looking to throw. Buying time to his left. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Anthony Richardson, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Colts get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Solid finish to the opening drive. And look, when you get down around the goal line, you have to account for his legs. We saw it right there.
Yeah, that's the added dimension to the offense, isn't it? Remember what the offensive line coach told us earlier this week? I told my guys, he's going to run it. We have to make sure he stays protected and give him an opportunity.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. So that drive goes 8 plays.
And it was Anthony Richardson who took it into the end zone to finish things off. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
So here's the Viking offense making their way out.
They'll be let out by their rookie quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
And now a stoppage, and looks like we have a Colt who was shaken up on that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll drop to throw. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. They'll give him 4 yards there. 3rd and 7 now.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
Throw to the right, hauled in by Addison. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3-and-out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the first down.
On 1st down, Royal. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want. But on the defensive side of the ball, you're scrambling a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hawkinson. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 38-yard line. That one good for 16 as the drive continues.
I'll give the rookie another one on this opening drive and a first down with it. A nice start, Charles, for the first-year passer. He's come out, made a few plays, nice plays to begin this contest.
He certainly has, and if he finishes off this drive with a touchdown pass, I bet we don't call him rookie anymore. We'll move him right to veteran and continue from there.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on 1st down.
Second and 2.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. Well, that was his first target of the game, and it's going to take at least one more target to get him on the board. Took a nice substantial hit to jar that catch loose from him. Incomplete pass.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Now a handoff up the middle. Royal. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
You know, it was tough for them to stand on the sidelines and watch the other team take it downfield and score, wasn't it? So they knew when they got on the field, it's on them. Pick up first downs, get downfield and score. How about them picking up that 3rd and short?
I was just going to say, you and I were talking before the game, those 3rd down conversions are going to be huge in this one. That's going to be caught. Touchdown. T.J. Hockenson, 27 yards. And the Vikings respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own.
We're still in the first quarter, but it's apparent they're going to have to come up with a different defensive game plan for him because right now he's kind of having his way against that defense and has added a touchdown to the list. How do you slow him down? They're going to have to mix up some coverages, maybe change who's guarding him.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. That time, a 9-play drive. And it was T.J. Hockenson who finished the drive with a touchdown reception. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level. If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
Second down, another run with Taylor. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Now that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained. And, in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
And they'll go to the air now with Richardson. A short throw. This is caught by Cox. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 16. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. Connecting over the middle with Downs. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Richardson. And it's caught. And the Colts are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Oh, nice job there putting the ball right in the doorstep of the goal line. Couldn't quite get in to pay dirt, but he got awfully close. Let's see if they can cash it in over the next couple of plays.
And Richardson yet again on the move to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jerry Tillery running in there and setting him down.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, first down, run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on second down.
Another shot from the one on second and goal. Taylor will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
And the thing you have to love about Jonathan Taylor, he's a shifty speed guy most of the time when you hand him the football, but he's not coming off the field when you get down near the goal line because he's as tough and gritty as they come. And he finishes things off here by getting into the end zone.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays.
And it was capped off by a Jonathan Taylor touchdown. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And the Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
Up the middle they go. Royal. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Now back to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. He'll look to throw. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hawkinson. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Back to throw now on 1st down. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's going to have a gain of 11 to the 11 before he's brought down. 1st and 10.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. This is caught. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Back to throw again. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. From a yard out.
And the Vikings are an extra point away from drawing level.
Didn't have anything downfield, swung it out to the flat. He did the rest.
Such a staple of so many offenses we see now. You know, in our discussions with offense coordinators, how many times do they tell us, hey, this offense is designed for either a touchdown or a check down. We saw the check down on that play, and boy, was it successful.
We saw a touchdown, too. Now the extra point try forthcoming. Now we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's polished off by a Viking score. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Colts set to take over here offensively. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Richardson looking to throw this. He's got his man. It's Pierce.
And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Here's Richardson to throw. He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That good for 22 and a first down.
What I continually hear from running backs and offensive linemen is how often they're actually getting together to watch film so they can get in sync with each other, understand blocking patterns better, how a running back likes to cut, what he wants to do. And, boy, it all came together on that one.
That's one where they watch it and say, hey, we did everything we were supposed to do right there.
That looked like the play we drew up and designed. And then we got to see it unfold in real time.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's got this one complete to Sherfield. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. The two big plays right in succession as this one goes for 27.
Oh, I like that play call there. After a run for good yardage, you get a defense thinking they'll go back to the well. So that's a great time to call play action and give your receivers a little extra edge. And they complete the pass there for another first down.
That one out wide and intercepted. Picked off by Julian Blackmon. And the Colts are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
Well, I would guess that combined, if you spoke to both defenses, neither side has a lot to celebrate today. They haven't had a lot of stops, but that one right there, that's a big one because they stole points away with that play. And just as importantly, picked up a key stop on an offense that's been really impressive here in the early going.
The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
They run once more with Taylor.
And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line.
49 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now Richardson back to throw it.
A short throw. This is caught by Cox. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Well, they've certainly gotten him involved in this first half, and on 3rd down, they looked his way again. And what a delight for his quarterback to find him and keep the drive moving.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper.
Second down and 3. Running straight ahead, Taylor.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers that can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
On 3rd down, the defense decided to blitz. A very good job of recognizing it, stepping away from the pressure, and finding open space to scramble and pick up a first down.
So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10.
Up the middle, here's Taylor.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Second down and 6 now. Richardson out of the shotgun.
And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
So they need 6 yards here on third down. They're 2 for 2 on third down tries so far on this drive. And this taken in by Downs. And they get him down about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A third down pickup of 5.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the first down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a fourth down.
To punt on fourth down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. In a close game like this, Charles, those interceptions like they had on the last drive could be costly, but here they've got another opportunity to seize control of this game.
And they'd better take advantage of it, because otherwise, if they end up losing by 1 score, they'll relive this over and over and over until they have another opportunity to wipe it away.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
The Vikings on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. 47 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
From just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and a yard. He'll look to throw. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. And Hockenson going to have the Vikings first down as he'll get this down to the 40. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving. They'll look to throw now on first down. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Second and a couple. They'll drop to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
And, partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Again, he'll drop to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains.
I like the call on 3rd and 2. They were geared up to stop the run. I like the fact they just hit him quick. Little slant route. All about timing there, partner.
Yeah, the timing, everything well executed. They'll look to throw again. Looking for Addison again, and he's got him again. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now 2nd and 5.
He'll drop to throw.
Completes this to Addison out left.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
They'll look to throw here. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Trent Sherfield, a 12-yard touchdown grab.
And the Vikings will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
Little loft on that touchdown pass and sort of dropped it in the breadbasket perfectly.
Right in the bucket. And when you're coming out of college and you're a rookie in the NFL, sometimes you forget about the different types of throws you have to make. You just rely on your fastball and throw it as hard as you can all the time. But in this situation, he understood and threw it in a spot where only his receiver was going to get it and no one else. That was pretty.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 21-14. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And the Colts about to go on offense one final time in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both of these offenses had their share of high points in that first half. Each team had some big moments, and it would seem this could turn out to be a game where the last score wins.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. So nothing doing there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Looks again for T.J. Hockenson, and he's got him again. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Down to about the 32.
And that's why you see a lot of teams that like to play 4-3 defense, especially against teams that run the ball really well, because you count on your defensive front, the tackles and the ends, to eat up the blocking in the offensive line and keep that guy in the middle clean so he can roam through the football and make a tackle. In this case, he introduced himself and said, "Hello, my name is Mike."
They'll keep it on the ground. Roll. A pretty nice, strong run, but can't break away. Down just inside the 30. This now a 3rd and 4. In motion comes the tight end left. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. That is caught. And he would have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. They'll set up to throw. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hockenson. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down. They're going to look to throw. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to 1st and goal. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. There's Addison. Touchdown, Vikings. 8 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now up to 14. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told.
And Jordan Addison capped it off with a touchdown catch.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Well, the Colts now, they're ready to get the football back. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They make their second half debut here. Things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a two-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a three-possession game.
Back to throw. Here's Richardson. Quick slant caught by Pierce.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2.
On the option to give to Taylor here.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Back to Taylor on first down.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
After another impressive run, the question has to be asked, how do you slow these guys down running the football? I think they're going to try and get more people to the point of attack, try and get more people to the line of scrimmage, almost use a variety of run blitzes in order to try and get it done.
Again, it's Taylor.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with 3rd down looming. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Now a handoff. Taylor with it.
And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
And he's got some space here. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
94 yards rushing here for Taylor. He's got a first down.
Now that's a big-time run. Lightning in a bottle, forget it. He exploded out of the bottle for that type of a pickup.
Off play action, Richardson.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now.
Now it's Richardson.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Mo Alley Cox from 6 yards away.
And the Colts have got it back to within a score.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Gay is on for the point after. He's got it, and they're back within a touchdown at 28-21. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown.
Sanchez now. He'll kick it away following the touchdown. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On play action, they'll throw. He's got this one complete to Sherfield. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Addison hauls it in. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
From the 32-yard line now, here's a 2nd down and 4. They'll try the left side. Royal. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Third and 2. They'll keep it on the ground. Royal. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Facing short yardage on 3rd down, but he was able to pick up a very sizable gain.
He certainly was, and I think that maybe they were fooled a little bit because you and I both know this is a passing league, and that's not normally a running down, and they fooled him with it. Safety had to make the play. Otherwise, he's still running, and the next thing, he runs right into the goalpost.
So both teams trade touchdowns in the 3rd as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. They'll run on first down. Royal. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. They work now on 2nd and 9. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Touchdown, Vikings! Brandon Powell, an
60-yard touchdown. And the Vikings have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this fourth quarter. But that's certainly an important touchdown there. It makes this a 2-score game.
But as we've seen, no lead is safe in this one with the way these two offenses have lit up the scoreboard. I would imagine that on their sidelines, they're both yelling at their defenses, hey, you want to get involved here? One big play from you, that could win the game for us.
Extra point forthcoming. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it's polished off by a Viking score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. The Colts offense and running back Jonathan Taylor heading back onto the field. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities. Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Richardson working from the gun. Forced out to his left. And he'll go down at the 28. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first.
At least this time he's getting hit after a positive play for his offense. The pressure was coming through yet again, but he certainly didn't stick around for the sack on this occasion. Found an escape route and ended up getting the first down before taking the hit.
Richardson off the play fake. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Jerry Tillery able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front seven. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a second down and 12. Now Richardson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
The Colts on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is third down and 12. Richardson looking to throw. Now that's into the hands of Mo Alley-Cox, the tight end. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to make it fourth down. Did they maybe play that too safely on third down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have fourth down to try and pick it up.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Colts unable to convert here on fourth down. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. The Vikings head out to take over once again. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, there are two scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
So the completion good for just 3, and it's second down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame them?
Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second.
Boy, Charles, that time he took a bad situation and made it worse.
Yeah, you're almost putting together a nice little song there, aren't you? Because it's something you'll see from young quarterbacks. They have that tendency to retreat backwards instead of stepping up in the pocket.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Running right, Jones. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
And here's Ryan Wright now.
Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line.
The Colts offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the fourth quarter.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
A good start there on first down. They've got to have this drive.
No doubt about it. Down a couple of scores. They have to find a way to put it in the end zone. Chunk plays, explosive plays. That will be the key to this drive.
Richardson.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up a screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late, and that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Richardson back to throw it.
A short throw. This is caught by Cox. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
We'll put that one in the win column for the defense. Trying to contain tight ends in the passing game is so difficult nowadays, but they did in a big way there.
They need 12 here. It's 3rd down. Now Richardson looks to throw once more. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Delivers another one to Pierce.
call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it second down. Richardson out of the shotgun. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Well, this has certainly turned into a showcase game for what he can do on the ground because they're just continuing to give him chances to run it, and he's earning every additional carry by putting up positive yardage on each run.
From the shotgun, Richardson. Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Mo Alley-Cox. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Here comes second down. Richardson looking to throw this. And Richardson slides down after evading the defense, and he moves the chains. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Here's Richardson to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And the Vikings are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. Well, we knew this was going to be a tall order anyway, down 2 scores with this little time remaining, but that interception puts it in to any hopes that they had.
All right, partner, work with me here because obviously scoring a touchdown, getting the onside kick, then going down, scoring again. Well, that's asking a lot, isn't it? And that's really not a great expectation to begin with. I think they'll look back on this game and see what got them in this spot in the first place and say to themselves, we really gave this game away.
We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They'll keep it on the ground. Royal, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They'll try the left side. Royal. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Brendan, every great running backs coach that I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
.38-yard line, 2nd and 11. Now a give right side. Royal. The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.